Welcome to episode 26 of Randall Vision. I'm your host, Randall. We've got a quick one today, a little peek into some of my personal metaphysics. And a little disclaimer on this. My thought was provoked on worldviews earlier, and trying to categorize or summarize mine. I've kind of taken the sum totality of my existence and flipped the switch to on for all things. Like, instead of disbelieving in certain theories or whatever, truth is relative. So under given certain circumstances, just about everything is true. Now, meanwhile, that is obviously not true. The quick example, this statement is false. That sentence, if it is false, that means it's true, and then that would make it true, so then it would no longer be false, and we're back to where we started. So this statement is false. That sentence quickly illustrates the fallibility of language and how, as soon as you start putting stuff into words, then you've put some distance between yourself and the truth. Anyhow, so fictional characters is what we're going to talk about, or not fictional characters, but fiction. I feel like the general assumption in regards to fiction is that people think of it as, oh, that's made up. That's not real. And those assumptions are kind of silly. Now, they're meant in a narrow sense, but this is where we got to dig into the nuance a little bit of the language involved, where fiction is real in the sense that it exists and people consume it. So kind of my theory is that the more people know of a story or of a character, the more real it becomes. So popular entertainment is rather real, or classic movies, classic literature. Those things, the more people that are aware of it, the more real it becomes. And so going back to the people thinking of fiction as not real, well, they think of themselves as real. And, that's true in a particular context, but how many people know you? 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 10,000 people. Cool. Well, how many people know who Garfield is? Like 1 billion or more. So who's more real? Are you more real, or is the fictional character more real? So that's now we've established a kind of inversion of our expectations of going from thinking that, oh, fiction's not real, to, oh, fiction's like more real than I am. So what lesson or lessons can we glean from fiction? And the one in particular that I want to put alongside here, the thought that I'm going to put alongside fictional characters being more real than yourself, is the concept of plot armor. So I'm a fan of anime, and it frequently the protagonist finds themselves in a situation that goes from bad to worse, and it looks like that there's no possible way to get out. And then the next thing you know, they triumph due to some sort of unforeseen circumstance. Not always as far as a Deus Ex Machina, but just the events unfold in such a way that it's like, man, if you weren't the main character, there's no chance this would have ever happened. So what it seems to describe their ability to triumph against all odds is the concept of plot armor, that the protagonist is generally a highly righteous individual or group of individuals, and that whatever quest or mission they're on is like pure or virtuous or whatever the case may be. But it's through that's the explanation, that the good guy wins and the bad guy loses. And I think it's, people would find that highly debatable in reality, that, well, no, bad things happen to good people. You know, here, I'll give you a dozen anecdotes of when that happened. I'm not saying that bad things never happen to good people, but what I'm saying is, if you get yourself some plot armor, your life may turn out better than if you did not. Is kind of, that's the assertion I'm putting forward here. That's it. That's my conclusion. Remember, you're a sovereign individual. Do what thou wilt.